Hey guys, Mono here, and this is Trepang2, and I think I'm gonna let the video do the talking. This might remind you of a little game called F.E.A.R. If you were playing shooters in the early 2000s, then I probably don't need to expand that any further, but just in case, F.E.A.R. was a first-person shooter created by Monolith Productions, and it was one of the most groundbreaking shooters of its day. It featured the most advanced AI in a shooter ever at the time, maybe even to this day, and it absolutely knocked it out of the park with its visual design and combat. Monolith would eventually go on to create games like Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, which had the amazing Nemesis system. So, they've been making games with advanced AI systems for quite some time. But another key feature of F.E.A.R. were the physical-based object interactions. Things like paper and office furniture would get blown up and tossed around by your weapons and grenades, and that was pretty uncommon back then. The game also borrowed heavily from The Matrix, the John Woo movies, and had some horror elements taken from other movies like The Ring, which were quite popular back then. Trepang2 is the first game I've seen that is successfully trying to recreate this style of combat down to the very look and feel of the guns, the enemy design, and the AI. And this is pretty cool because F.E.A.R. is now 17 years old.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
So yeah, the visuals don't really hold up as well as I thought they would. Trepang, on the other hand, looks insane, with very heavy use of particle effects and lighting to punctuate the action on the screen. It doesn't look super good in terms of texture work or detail, but the point here is things need to look good when they're getting blown up, and they certainly do. All the content you're seeing here is from the demo that they put out during the recent Steam Fest, but I have seen way more detailed environments featured in some of the promotional material they have on Twitter, so I expect the levels from the single player campaign to feature more fleshed out environments than the ones you see here in the demo. Also, you might be wondering why it's called Trepang2 and if there is a Trepang1. Well, there is, but it's a totally unrelated platformer game, and Trepang is an Indonesian word for sea cucumber according to their Discord. So why is the game called Trepang2? I don't know. I tried reaching out to the dev team for some comment on this and some other questions that I had, like if the game is gonna feature horror elements like F.E.A.R. did, but unfortunately they didn't get back to me by the time I wanted to post this video. Combat is of course the main appeal of a game like this, and though the weapon variety in the demo is pretty limited, it's only 4 guns, it's been extremely hard to stop playing the little training room scenario that it features. This is a game that makes you feel like a complete badass every single second. You're blowing up people left and right, you can kick them in the face and send them flying across the room, or slide under them and knock them up in the air for some anti-air obliteration. Not to mention the whole bullet time thing, which lets you dodge bullets and just appreciate the carnage you're producing even more. And you can even turn invisible, which is pretty OP when used properly, and I think that's the entire point, right? This is very much a I'm not trapped here with you, you are trapped here with me kind of situation. Think Doom Eternal, but with human enemies and without the whole ammunition replenishing mechanic thing. Now, I'm not sure what the tone of the game is going to be like, because even though the demo starts off pretty serious, once you reach this main base of operations, you find a dual wielding serum that you get to inject yourself with, and I just think this is absolutely hilarious. I guess that's going to be the mechanism for unlocking things in the single player campaign. I'm not sure, but now I kind of want everything from learning to kick people to sliding to learning to reload to be an actual serum you gotta inject yourself with. The enemy AI doesn't seem as advanced as it was in F.E.A.R, unfortunately, with some key elements like the squad callouts noticeably absent. In F.E.A.R, enemies would share information between them by yelling things like, "He's behind the table on your left," and things like that, which really made it feel like you were playing against thinking opponents. So far, the enemy AI in Trepang hasn't felt quite as good as the one in F.E.A.R, so I hope that's something they keep working on before release. It's supposed to release this year, and if the demo is anything to go by, then you should definitely keep this one on your radar. There's a Discord that you can join to get access to the demo in case you didn't get it during the Steam Fest, so I will link to that down in the video description. Alright, I'll leave you guys with a bit more gameplay footage, and as always, thank you for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.